How's it going, guys? It's your boy CanDoKen. We back with another video. In case y'all didn't know, I've been playing Wuthering Waves. Of course you didn't know, I didn't make any videos on it yet, but I've been playing the hell out of Wuthering Waves. It's a brand new gacha game. I'm balancing that, Genshin, Star Rail all at the same time. If you want to watch me stream it, I usually stream on Twitch. I might stream on YouTube if y'all want it, but I just gotta say, before I say anything else, I've been loving the hell out of this game. I've been grinding it. If you look, I am Union level 30, rank 4. I got my data pod all the way to level 18 just now. I love this game. All right, I mess with it. Me and this game, we like this. All right, but look, this game got some problems, and they honestly gotta solve some of these things. This might be a little bit of like a longer video because I'm trash at editing, and I just bear with me, bruh. All right, this might take a little bit to get through, but we gonna get there, okay? And look, I may or may not be handing out some battle passes and welcome moons in this bit, you know what I'm saying? But like, look, we gonna get into that later. But listen, I'm gonna try to hop right into like the things that I think are like really holding this game back, and see if I can't like articulate them correctly. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so first and foremost, this like auto attack thing is very silly. It's tacky and clunky. It doesn't feel good. I don't know. That like I feel like I should just be able to switch. Like for the longest, I thought I was doing something wrong, like my game was buggy, because like I was near an enemy but didn't know, and I was switching and doing an attack. Like, just switch. Like, I don't need, like, if someone wants to do these, this should be toggleable or some sort of optional thing, like switching directly into an attack. That is bad. It gets me smoked constantly. I don't like it. And that leads me into my second part of that, the fact that intro skills are mandatory on swap. Like, for instance, there's a boss, I mean, a lot of bosses do this, but if you're fighting a boss that has a one-shot skill, like a one-shot mechanic, and you happen to have a character who can deal with said one-shot mechanic, for instance, Havoc Rover. On Havoc Rover, I have this that blocks like boss special moves and parries them, which is great, right? It's great. Like, we can parry special moves. That's awesome. But the thing is, if I'm playing on my girl Encore and I just happen to get my intro skill, I switch to Havoc Rover thinking I'm gonna press Q and block the special move. No, because intro skill is active, and now I'm in the air because Havoc Rover's skill puts them in the air, and now I'm like trying my best to like plunge attack to the ground so I can try to switch the thing, and I get smoked. Like, intro skills and the swapping and attacking automatically, all that should be manual. Like, it's just awful. It's clunky and unnecessary. Like, it should all be manual. It should just be automatic. Like, and if anything, I think intro skills need to be reworked entirely to where the buffs are more easily used by the character you want them to use, and it should not be an attack that like comes in and like assumes control of the character. It just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. It feels really awful and clunky, and I pray that they rework this. Now that we're on the topic of echoes, I think the echoes being in the game are fine. Like, it being like a semi creature collector kind of game, I think that's fine. But I don't like the switching into echoes. Like, I don't know, it's clunky, bro. Because like, for instance, I have the Inferno Rider on I keep wanting to call her Acheron. I have the Inferno Rider on Encore, right? But the thing is, it's like when you switch into it, you can't turn it around or anything, right? So like a lot of bosses, they'll be running around you and like Inferno Rider just driving around you and junk, and you're like, you press Q, he's behind you now, and you're just like swinging into the air and then slamming the ground. Like, it's clunky and doesn't feel good. You don't have like, I think as a general rule of of thumb, just to kind of sum up most of my complaints with the game currently, assuming control of the character, especially in a way that is clunky and lacks like precision and control, is generally what I'm going to talk about here, and it's all bad. Assuming control and taking control from the player and just making it feel bad is a negative, is a downside. Like, I think if anything, the echoes should all be let me see if I can find like something like this. You throw it out and it does the thing. Like for the parry Pokemon, you should throw it out and it should like stand there, and like you can be anywhere like near him, but it should stand there itself while you're still like playing the game, and it should parry the move. You take no damage, it parries on its own while you're fighting, and then you continue, you go in, like, you know, you keep doing your thing. Like, it shouldn't be you become the Pokemon. Like, I hate that. It's so clunky. And even if it's an optional thing, if it's a toggle, I really pray that they make it where you just throw out all of the things and they do their own thing. Like, I think becoming them was cool. Maybe you can leave it for like the mobility ones, like your Infernal Riders and stuff. Like, maybe you still become Infernal Rider. I still don't like it, but for the mobility, maybe you leave it like that. We can turn into Infernal Rider and ride. But like for the abilities that they do, like the heals and stuff, like why don't they all just work like this? It wouldn't be that hard for you all to just throw it out. As long as you stay in a radius around the Pokemon, he'll parry the thing for you. You take no damage and then continue playing the game like normal. Like, I would like that a lot better. I know that's a lot to change, like how it was coded and developed and all that, but like I really hope that they changed the echoes. Like, please, I'm begging you. Like, it would make the game so much smoother and just better feeling to play. I would appreciate the hell out of that. Stuff like being able to, like, because sometimes you really need the echo to be out and you'll be mashing Q, but like the thing is, if you mash Q too much, it cancels the echo. Like, I hate that. I think like the only thing that should cancel an echo, like an echo transformation, is right click. Like, you should be able to right click out of it. And to add on to that, right clicking out of an echo should instantly dodge. It shouldn't revert you. Like, it should just do the dodge action. Like, when you press the dodge button out of an echo shift, you should dodge, not just stand there. Like, it makes the combat and stuff just feel bad. Like, this is why I say all echoes, short and simple, all echoes should just be Pokemon that you throw out and they do their thing and you do your thing, like, separately. Like, neither one of you get in each other's way. It should just, you throw them out and that's it. Like, all of my fixes for echoes, like in their shifts and stuff, are simply fixed by just making them all castable, and you just throw it and forget about it. Like, that's it. Now on to player combat. This is a little more of like a nuanced thing, and it's 1.0, it's patch 1.0, so we don't really know what they're trying to do too much with the combat. But I don't know. Coming from Genshin, the combat system in Genshin makes sense. You know, like, you have your damage buffers, you have your swirls, like, all of it makes sense. For instance, you're playing Raiden, you put Electro on the enemy, you swirl it with an Anemo character, now their resistance to Electro is lower. You put Bennett Burst down, now your attack is higher. You swap to your main DPS, they benefit from both of these things, and they do increased damage. In this game, it's not so much like that, because, for instance, you have freaking Baija, who has a damage bonus, right? But it's only for the character that you swap into. So you can only buff one time either way. Like, you either use why do I want to call her Havoc, bro? Encore, you either use Encore to leave a bomb on the field when you switch to Baija, or you use Baija to buff Encore. Like, so the middle character is kind of like in a weird like limbo land where, like, what are they supposed to be doing? Like if they don't have a buff, or if their intro skill buff doesn't Like if it buffs havoc damage and you switch to Encore, it's literally a useless intro skill, which makes the fact that like it assumes control of your game and makes you attack, and like it makes it even worse because it's not even doing anything. Like it's just, I don't like them. I don't like intro, outro. I think that should be toggleable or removed entirely because it doesn't really make sense, especially like, how are we gonna buff characters in this game if you can only buff one way? Like, and then like on top of that, we also have it where like there are no like off skill stuff. Like where are the officials and like the groupers, and like we don't have anything like that. So it just, I know it's like, oh, it's not Genshin, don't make it like Genshin, but it's wild because in the beta, a lot of the reason that the game is how it is because people complained that it wasn't like Genshin. It's crazy. I don't really understand like why. It seems like the parts that they took from Genshin are okay, like sorta, but like the parts that like they tried to do their own thing, the echoes, the combat is kind of worse than Genshin. Like it's weird. I hate just being the guy who compares it to Genshin, but that's, I mean, that's what it is. Like they're both the same exact type of game down to a T. Like they are the exact open world, gotcha, combat, like it's literally the same game. So the comparison has to be made. But like, I find it strange that everything that it does uniquely, it does worse than Genshin. And everything that it pretty much copied is fine. Like it's great. I find that weird. Yeah, long story short, for that point, intro, outro skills and auto attacking on Switch, like just get rid of all of that. I think there needs to be a more straightforward way of playing the game. Put buff down, debuff enemy, switch to main DPS, deal damage. I would prefer that a lot more than this weird like back and forth switching, and like I don't know. I don't like that very much. It's not that like, I still like the game, but I think that needs to be sunset real fast and switch to a more straightforward, traditional kind of buffing combat system. That's all I'm gonna say on that. It just, I think that whole thing needs to be reworked entirely. All right. So another point is parrying and dodging. Like I went in here to this hologram thing and I fought this man for about 2 hours, and it's crazy because I feel as if I have the damage to kill him, but there are certain aspects of the game that I feel literally don't work like at all and need to be strongly buffed and reworked, like extremely reworked, because this guy has a lot of parries and a lot of things you need to dodge, right? So if you're playing like Havoc Trailblazer, Havoc Rover, right? And you're standing directly on the enemy, you can parry. But as you see right there, doesn't work. Like, there's a lot of stuff in this game that's just like, it doesn't work when you need it to. And like, I fought this man for so long trying to figure out like what was happening. And it wasn't working. So look, that's Havoc Rover. I'm able to it's not always, but I'm able to pretty consistently parry him. And this, by the way, this doesn't work if you're mashing. So like if you're trying to do actual combat, you cannot parry. But look, we're gonna go to Encore and I'm gonna do the same thing. Y'all just witnessed me able to parry multiple times. It's not working. It's not working. Watch. It doesn't work. It literally doesn't work. The same with Baija. She's the same. Parry. Nope. Nope. That somehow worked. That's crazy. I don't know how it's working suddenly now, but Baija is the same. Like, parrying does not work, and I'm so confused. I don't really understand. I think I'm doing it early now. Is that it? Let me see. Maybe if you do it. No, that's not it. Like certain things, I don't know. Like I think it needs to be made more consistent, because there's certain things that like, depending on like right there, no parry, no parry, And here we go. Here's the... Look, because I intro skilled, I couldn't cast my echo to block that stupid move. Like, bruh. No parry. No parry. Like, I think the combat needs to be tightened up a little bit. I think they should extend the amount of like active frames that you have during a dodge, where like your dodge will trigger that dodge animation. Like, I think dodges need to be a little more active, and I think parrying entirely needs to be buffed. Like, there's too many scenarios where parrying just won't work. It just won't work. And I'm telling you, I fought this man for 2 hours. Like, if it was a skill issue, I promise you I'd be the first one to tell you that. Like, I could stand here with... Oh, well, it didn't work that time. Hey, see, here we go. Now it's back to being inconsistent. It's not working. We have our little parry ability from our echo. Here we go. Didn't work. Like, you can do this for yourself. Just stand there and try to like parry things that happen to you, and like, it didn't work right there. I don't know if that's an issue of like it didn't work right there. Yeah, like certain characters literally just can't parry. Like, it doesn't work. So like, I don't know. I think whatever is happening there, I believe that they need to like strongly enhance all characters across the board's ability to parry. It's just, that system just doesn't work. I don't know. That kind of puts a dampener on like the combat experience, to me anyways. So that's my 2 cents on that. For this one, this is more about like specifically about the enemy like combat experience. Like, if you play Dark Souls, for instance, a lot of times like the moves in Dark Souls are extremely telegraphed. Like, yeah, it takes some time to get used to, but like for the most part, you can kind of, it's intuitive in a way. I would say like it's not the best, but it's definitely intuitive. This guy right here, when I was first learning how to fight him, it was bad. Like, a lot of his moves are delayed as shit. Like, that move right there, this move right here, super delayed, like way too delayed, where like it just doesn't feel good. Like, I think there needs to be like flashes before before the enemy attacks, where like if you dodge during the flash, you will dodge the attack. Like, a lot of times with this guy in particular, I've noticed it on, like, look at like it's just the moves are not telegraphed enough, or like telegraphed properly. Like, because the flashes, he does have flashes, but if you dodge when you see the flash, he hangs in the air for a little longer, and then you get smoked after dodging. Like, it's bad. Like, I see they tried to put little flashes on his moves, but I think they need to be retimed, the little flashes. I think if they retime these to make them a little like better, a little more accurate to like when the attack is coming, I think it'll be a lot better, personally. And I think they need to do this to every enemy. I think every enemy needs to have like flashes before their attacks, every single enemy. I think that would make the combat experience a lot better. It'd give it more of a rhythm that I think the game is missing during combat, especially when you're playing like a melee character and you're all in their face and you can't really like see nothing. Like, we just a bunch of like flashes on the screen and shit. Like, I think like having better flashes, better timed flashes is what we're missing in combat. We are not fighting some like super crazy enemy. I think like the combat's pretty enjoyable. Outside of all of the topics that I already talked about, I like the characters. I like Encore. Oh, you know what? No, I have another topic to discuss. I was just reminded, bruh. For some reason, this game lacks baddies. Where are all the baddies at? Where are all the characters where like I just look at them and I'm like, oh, baddie. Like, where they at? Outside of like a couple who are just like they have the badness quality. Like, I think Rover is a baddie. Absolutely, entirely a baddie. Like, and she look at the face. She knows she's bad too. Like, Baiju, I think Baiju she's different. If any of y'all played Melty Blood, y'all know what I'm talking about. She got that Akiha confidence. Like, we like that. But like everyone else, I don't know. Like, Danjin is kind of like Yuan Wu. He don't got the baddiness. Like, you know, like Sanhua. Like, yeah, like she's not ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not ugly, but she's not really like bad. Like, I mean, you know, not really. Tao Chi, okay, like, you know, stock gotcha female number 5. Like Chiksha, oh, at Chisha, no. Like all the way down, like -20. Freaking Yap Yang, bruh. Oh my god, Yap Yang, don't even get me started, bruh. I could, like, first off, like, she's not cute. Like, she's not a baddie. Like, she's cute, I guess, but like, she's not a baddie. She's not somebody like that I want to play. Like, somebody I want on my team. I want to look at. Like, and then don't let her talk, bruh, because Yap Yang, boy, that voice is something else, bruh. That voice is something different. I had to skip every cutscene where she opened her mouth, bruh. Oh man, forgive me, but not Yap Yang, bro. No sir. But yeah, outside of all of that, I've been liking it. I mess with Wuthering Waves. I know this video I've been yapping a lot, but I mess with the game. I just think I think it needs a couple tweaks, and I think we'll be on the right path. I think we'll be standing side by side, or at least a little behind Genshin, you know, at the finish line. I think that we'll be holding hands, dapping them up at the end of the line, though. That's all I gotta say. So if you made it through the video, please leave a like and comment and tell me, was I wrong? Were my takes hot? Were they baseless? Like, let me know. I'll see if we can figure it out together in the comments. But until the next one, deuce.